Lock it.
Welcome back to another episode of Blunt Talk Podcast. Go on ahead and grab your spliffs, grab your drink, and get ready and get comfy to dive into episode 15. You already know what the fuck is going on. It's your girl Randy reporting live to Blunt Talk Podcast. Like I just stated, it's episode 15. How y'all doing today? It's another Friday. All I'm going to say is this week went by fast. Like one day I'm looking up, it's Monday. The next day I'm looking up, I have to put out the podcast episode. Like, god damn. I don't know about y'all, but I work from home and I'm a call center representative for health insurance. And the calls have been back to back to back to back to back this week. So I'm thinking maybe that's why this week went a little bit quicker than normal. I don't know. All I know was this week Zoom by. Here we are Friday, Blunt Talk Podcast Friday. You already know what the fuck is going on. So I hope you guys are ready because we're about to get started. And I wanted to just chop it up. Before I get into the segments that I have for you this week, I just wanted to say Gemini season is over.
Man, boo. Tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes.
Welcome to cry, wham, baby cancer asses. I'm thinking, Gemini season and Gemini season in a whole just sped by. And I'm thinking it's because there was literally birthdays from the start of Gemini season for me until the end of Gemini season for me. I have birthday parties to go to every weekend to the point where my own son, because his mama don't plan that well, we didn't have a chance to really like do something for his birthday and have a party like I have every year. So I'm feeling a little bit of mom guilt because I'm like, damn, I didn't do a birthday party, but he got his gifts. We went out, we had some fun. He did say thank you, mommy, and that he likes his gifts and that he did have a fun birthday. But me just being that over the top parent and wanted to make sure that my baby is okay, I'm not feeling it, y'all. So now I'm thinking about doing a combined birthday party for him and my daughter, but I feel guilty about that shit too because they're both individuals and they're both very different. And I feel like they both should have their day to enjoy. Why would I mix it? So I don't know. I'm going through it. It's crazy. On top of that mom guilt and whatnot, I just need to say if y'all didn't know, I'm about to tell you as the head gem in charge. There is a lot of gems, aka Geminis. And all I know is Geminis are destined for greatness. So we have Kendrick Lamar, Lenny Kravitz, Morgan Freeman, Tupac, of course, Octavia Spencer, Venus Williams, and that's just to name a few. But with those few, you see we about this chicken and we destined for what? Greatness. I don't know about everybody else, but there's a hell of a lot of Geminis that are just doing the damn thing. So it sucks that the real ones had to go to let the little Krabby Patty crybabies start, but you already know who the best of the best is. Without further ado, let's dive right on in to our social media segment, y'all. So this week on social media, there is a couple different things that I want to dive into. Nothing too juicy, but I just wanted to get into it because I need to pop my shit and I also want to know y'all take on it. So before I get started, why don't you go head on over to Instagram and follow me at _Blunt Talk Podcast. That way you can stay up to date with all the announcements we have going on, with the new things that we're doing, when the episodes are dropping, and we can continue the conversation. So again, go head on over to Instagram and follow me at Blunt Talk Podcast. That's BluntTalkPodcast. Period. So the first thing that I want to talk about on our social media segment is there is a post in regards to a husband and his woman co-parenting. I'm not even going to summarize. I'm going to read it and I want to know your thoughts, but you know I'm going to pop my shit. So the post says, and I saw this post on Threads, aka the new Twitter. Um, but I think this was posted on Instagram as well. So the post says, if I marry a woman with a child, it means any child under my roof is mine. Daddy, if he wants to see his child, I should be notified so I can know where my child is going and be told if my child is not coming back and what time will my child be back. The father must respect me. Okay. Thank you for wanting to be a part of the child's life. Thank you for stepping up and being that other parent while the biological parent is not around. But this is where things got a little hasty. So, from my perception on how I read this, and it's very important that we understand everyone perceives things differently. So, from my perception of this, I got a little bit of overstepping. Now, I understand when you get married, your wife is now your responsibility. Her problems are your problems, and vice versa. Your kids are her kids are your kids, and vice versa. I feel like that's great for the in home aspect of it. But I feel like the reality of it is when you're married and your significant other tends to have a co parenter, baby mama, baby daddy, whatever you want to call it, you have to sort of kind of respect that relationship. That does include, or that does not include, I'm sorry, that does not include if that person has been disrespecting you in the past. If the person has disrespected you in the past, then I feel like you have all rights to want to establish that dominance and that respect factor and make sure that that is respected on the other end. So if that means clearly the wife and the co-parenter cannot have a conversation, a healthy co-parenting conversation for the sake of the kids that need a mediator, then that means the husband being the mediator. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about co-parenter, regular parent, both equally active in a child life. You're just an add-on because you're the husband. They have a great relationship, never got out of line with you, never disrespected you, always understood that that is your home, that is your woman, and you're the in home parent when you're not around. I feel like that is not okay. I don't feel like the communication needs to come from the co-parenter to directly the husband because at the end of the day, you didn't have a kid with that person. This is coming from someone who has seen their parents co-parent healthily. And when I mean healthily, I mean my parents were not together, but you damn sure they were both invited to their weddings with their new partners and they both went and bought a wedding gift and they both, well, let me backtrack. My mom was invited to my dad's wedding and her new husband went and gave him a gift and just had a good time. It was good vibes. Whenever they had parties, they would invite my dad and his wife. So it was, I seen a healthy co-parent relationship where it was never needed for my stepfather to have that communication with my father. Now, don't get it twisted. My mom and my dad also had a schedule, so everybody knew the schedule about when I was going, where I was going. So it was never like Randy needs to talk to me and let me know where my daughter is going. It was never like that. It was sort of kind of like, oh, okay, this is Randy's weekend. Cool, cool, cool. Well, the girls are going to be here, aka my sisters. They're going to be here this weekend, whatever the case may be. But it never got weird. Sidebar, I'm sorry. I'm talking with my hands a lot. Shorty got her nails done. Nail cam. You see? They're so cute. Done by me. No bars. Anyway, back to the topic. So I just feel like because I've seen something healthy, I don't feel like as long as, you know, my child's father is being respectful of my partner, I don't feel like it would have to be a, hey, I'm macho man. You need to let me know where you're taking my son. Like, that's just some weirdo type alpha male type shit. Now, if the person is disrespectful and the mother has tried countless times to make sure that it was sort of kind of kosher and, be the adult and he just can't get it right, by all means, big daddy, step up. Step up and put that nigga in his place because clearly he don't know and I'm not fucking with him no more. So that can be between you and you know what I'm saying? Or you and y'all. And so like when I was hearing different responses and reading different responses, what I gathered from those responses is a lot of people have not experienced seeing a healthy co-parenting relationship. Because I have experienced that and I've seen that, it sort of kind of put into my brain automatically when I had children that that is what I wanted. Like I wanted to emulate my mother and my father. When I mean healthy co-parenting, y'all, I mean if I was on punishment at one person's house, that punishment followed to me to my other parent's house. If I like as soon as I got in trouble in school, once my mom picked me up or whatever the case, and then my dad got off of work, he was coming over to definitely punish me and discipline me with my parent. Like it was not on no weirdo shit that we're used to seeing in this generation. Where I feel like at this time, now that I'm growing up and I do have a kid, I do have children, and I do have to, let me not do. I would have to co-parent if the other person wanted to co-parent. I feel like we're so used to in this generation the toxicity of it all, where baby mama, baby daddy hate each other. There's drama. Baby mama's keeping the baby away from the baby daddy just being real spiteful and retarded. Sorry for the hard R, but things of that nature. I think because we're used to seeing that this was like off rip, like, yeah, assert your dominance. That's my woman. Like it was giving real weird. And I hate that for us. I want us to be able to all experience a healthy co-parent relationship where literally your co-parenter is your best friend. God damn it. We don't have to be together, but we got to make it work for the child. Um, and also me being very realistic as well in regards to co-parenting. I feel like it takes a lot, when you do have a new partner, to co-parent healthily because people again are so used to this toxic way of co-parenting and baby mama, baby daddy drama and all this fuck shit that when people do see a healthy co-parenting relationship, they're sort of kind of like, y'all bitches are still fucking. Y'all bitches are still fucking, and that's just that. That's why, the jokes be flying around like, oh, I can't date a girl that got a baby. And if she do got a baby, the baby daddy got to be dead. That's why we see jokes like that. Like, of course, it's funny, but at the end of the day, we all claim that we're adults. But when it comes to adult situation, we really don't know how to act and we really don't act appropriately. Um, yeah. Another sidebar into the co-parenting thing for my freshly new mothers and my freshly new fathers who are sort of kind of going through something. I just want to let you know off the bat. The first year is hell. The first year is hell because you're trying to navigate through this new life of parenthood with this person who you thought you would see yourself with forever, or with this person that you are with forever and they're changing. And so the person that you once knew is not the person anymore. And so you have to take the time to relearn them. And that could either be harmful or that could be beneficial. And a lot of times we see that it is harmful, which leads to a lot of broken homes. But that's a different story for another day. I definitely do want to have an episode about motherhood in depth because I don't think men, especially, understand how detrimental being pregnant and going through that transition into being a mother is. I can tell you right now, without getting too much, definitely scared of getting pregnant ever again. I wasn't blessed to have the best um experiences. So I just want to make sure like if I ever, and I never, knock on wood, I never want to, but if that was the case, I just really hope it's a better experience. So what were your thoughts about that? And again, it's basically just like the husband saying, notify me about my child not being underneath my roof and if and when he's coming home, which I feel like the wife is going to do if y'all have simple communication. But I don't know. It to me, I see where he was going with it. I love the effort, but it just seemed a little bit too hostile for me. Like, I feel like it's just common sense when you're married with your husband, you guys have a kid that's not really the husband's kid, that you would say, "Hey, little Junior's going with Rodney this Friday. Just wanted to let you know." Like, I'm pretty sure that happens in the real world, but we never know. It's social media. The next topic that I wanted to talk about sort of kind of had people in a frenzy, not surprised. I'll be sure to play it with you, or I'll be sure to play it for you so you guys see what I'm talking about. But this is Jada Wada and Des Dior on $1 Million Worth of Game.
Guy have less than you and you with him?
Oh, why you say it low? I ain't hear you. You clear your throat.
Oh,
You said,
yeah, no.
no, I ain't hear you. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, listen.
I'm not. I have to have. I feel like that's one of my.
As a man, I feel like you just should have more than me. Like,
Yeah, because dating somebody that doesn't have more, they're gonna try to make you feel less than as a woman. That's how I feel genuinely. I know girls who are more dominant in the relationship as far as financial status, and their boyfriends try to dog them out just to make them feel like they not that bitch. And I never want to be a part of that. But if I'm gonna be in a relationship, I'd rather it be with somebody that that could benefit me rather than somebody that's taken away from what I got going on. Because these men that don't have the financial status that you have, they are gonna try to just make you feel like you're not her. I've seen it. I have plenty of friends that got hella money.
I was having this conversation with my friend. Well, actually, my friend brought it up to me, and I was like, "What the fuck is the problem?" And he had his panties in a bunch because he was sort of kind of on some shit like, "What's wrong with women building up their man and da 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 da?" And I'm like, "Oh, brother, here we go with this one, right?" And so I basically had to break it down to him like this, and this is what I see. The first thing that I see is that's her fucking preference. That's her fucking type. So who are we to say she's wrong for feeling like that? Also, remember how I said a couple episodes back, I'm not even too sure what episode, but remember I said a couple episodes back, we need to date within our tax bracket. So if she can obtain and provide a certain type of lifestyle for herself, why would she go with someone who can't help maintain that and or has that for themselves? It doesn't make sense. It would make sense, and everyone should be in an uproar if, let's say, she was an up and coming artist, an up and coming Instagram model, whatever the fuck. If she was an up and coming and she was growing with her partner, then that would be different because they're both starting out on an equal playing field. But for someone of her caliber who can provide and maintain and obtain a certain lifestyle, and then for people to get mad that she said that she prefers not to date regular men or broke men, it's like, what is the outrage about? Again, I'm going to go back. One, that's her preference. Two, she can maintain a certain lifestyle for herself. So she would be absolutely dumb to go date someone who cannot add to that or have that or be on the same playing field. And also, if we're just going to keep it a buck, when someone tends to have more than what someone else has, that other person has a tendency to feel entitled for that. So let's say she does date said broke man, and broke man doesn't have the coin that she has, but she's able to go buy a Lamborghini tomorrow. He's going to feel entitled to also want that lifestyle too, to match the aesthetic, to match her fly. You know what I'm saying? And so it's sort of kind of dumb that people are mad about that, because it's like, at the end of the day, she would be doing herself a disservice. What I'm realizing in this social media space, and when it comes to Black women in love, we're supposed to just settle. Like, we're literally supposed to settle. And when we say something to others, it's like offensive. Like, when we stand our ground and say, no, this is what I want because this is what I deserve and this is what I can do for myself, it's sort of kind of like, bitch, you're a gold digger. And it's like, no, I'm not. And again, when it goes back to that, it's like, so you want her to already be established, date a broke man, and have to build him up to her level? That's like raising a man. That's like trying to raise a man who's acting like a boy. What did K Michelle say? Can't raise a man. You just can't fucking do it. And so what's the problem with her saying that she doesn't want to date regular? I don't find a problem with it at all. I think it's low key kind of smart. I think that is her preference, and we all have issues with people's preference. It's giving kind of weird. But then it ties into this other viral post that had people going in a frenzy, where it was this black woman saying that she is super tired of dating black men.
That I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I am so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. Like, I don't know what to do from this point on, but I can tell you one thing. My interest in dating another black man is like 1% at this point. They want us to be ride or dies until they get their shit together. And then they don't want to support us in return. They don't want to commit to us. They don't want to marry us. But then they want all the benefits of being a husband without actually proposing to us. I need someone who's intentional in every single aspect.
So she's saying she's tired of dating black men. It's emotionally draining. It's physically tired. It's mentally. She's saying all of these things that it is. And it's basically like that ties into what that can tie into why Jada also says she wouldn't date broke men. And then when it comes to the lady saying that she's tired of dating black men, I feel like what we're forgetting is it's all about the environment. Like, where are you meeting said black men? Like, are you meeting them online? Are you meeting them at the grocery store? Are you meeting them at Home Depot? Are you meeting them at the car lot? Are you meeting them at the club? Like, where are you meeting them at? Because you can't expect to meet a man in a boy environment. Y'all heard that? Let me just run it back. You can't expect to meet a man in a boy environment and vice versa. You can't expect to meet a woman in a girl environment. And girl environments are, you can't say you don't want a bitch that's outside, but you outside every weekend with the guys, and your next bitch you met at the club. Like, what? That's dumb. I'm not saying there's not good women in the club. I'm just saying if you don't want someone who's outside, why would you go to the outside environment? It just doesn't add up. So I just want people to remember that, and I keep saying the same things, and it's just funny because things keep happening that is like perpetuating what I say. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But I feel like she's not wrong with what she's saying, and I'm going to explain why she's not wrong with someone saying. But before I get into why she wasn't wrong, let me just tell y'all. So, y'all, I am smoking on, I usually don't do pre-rolls because I like to roll my own stuff. I also like to use grabba, but I'm trying to get away from using grabba because I don't want to die early. I know that was kind of morbid, but I just had to take it there because that's my thought process. So when I went to the dispensary, I got these little pre-rolls, and they're Jeter pre-rolls. This is gelato. She's testing, TAC is at 36.17%, and then the THC is at 32.89%. But please look at this. So these are the Jeter pre-rolls, and I absolutely duply love them. And yes, I meant to say it like that. Super cute. I don't know if you guys can see it, but she is a super cute size. Rose has the nice tip for the nails, but also if you guys can see it, she has the keef around it. Okay. Like I said, super scared to smoke her because I usually roll my own and I don't really like the taste of weed and things of that nature. But when I did smoke her, baby, was I tooted, zooted, and booted. Okay. I was finishing up some prior obligations, And while I was finishing up some prior obligations, I opened it and I lit it. And this is where I got. Okay. So because this is part of our, like, as you see, like, this is a different scenery. You can't really tell, but it's a different scenery. I wanted to get more comfy and cozy with y'all. I will be lighting that to have a conversation. This is during my mommy time. I want to come chop it up with my favorite people during my mommy time. So yeah, that's what I chose to do. But if you have a medical card or an adult use dispensary, go check out the Jeter products because them is the truth. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So I feel like she wasn't wrong with what she was saying, because if you do run into the wrong person, I'm going to take out the black man part because I feel like this is just person, case by case scenario. If you do run into the wrong person, there is most definitely a chance that you're going to get tired of dealing with them. Um, she said, she made a comment about like us having to ride for them and ride for them and ride for them, and they basically don't ride back. It's like we really ride until we die. And also just them not being as emotionally intelligent as needed, and like um mentally there as needed. All this is true. I have had my fair share of mentally draining, emotionally draining men. um and sorry, I had to sit here and think about how I wanted to put it. And I had to think for myself. Like I said before, we all have our own deal breakers. So I had to think to myself, when was enough enough? And after a while, I realized enough was enough for myself, and I just left. And it's all about, also, like, I'm always saying, you are what you attract. So although you're like tired of all those things that she said, I wonder if she is all that she said, because we have a tendency to literally attract what we are. If you're unhealed, you're going to attract unhealed people. If you are not emotionally intelligent or emotionally mature, as mature as you should be, you're going to attract people that are like that. Also, another good thing that I'm learning is you could pray to Jehovah about the man that you want. You can pray all day. You can manifest all day, but you might get that very specific thing that you're praying for, which is not exactly what you need. We have a tendency to pray for what we want and not what we need. And this is between all aspects of life, but especially as single Black women, we say, Jehovah, I see what you did for others. Please do that for me. Not even knowing what the fuck they go through in their life. So I feel like sometimes we get the same lesson in different fonts, in different variations, until we actually learn that lesson. You cannot graduate to the next step if you have not completed the last step and learned the lesson of the last step. So if you're saying, or if you keep encountering the same kind of person, I guarantee you it's because you didn't learn the lesson that you're supposed to learn. And Jehovah's not going to allow you to graduate to the next level and meet that said person, because you're not ready for that person. And you're going to waste that person's time, and you're also going to waste Jehovah's time. That's not what we want. So I want people to really sit here and think, maybe you are not getting all that you're asking for, because what you're asking for is exactly what you need in that moment to help you grow and propel to the next level. Period. I said what I said. So was Shorty wrong? No. I feel like it's a case by case situation. I feel like she's not looking in the right places. I also feel like she did not learn her lesson, because why are you so tired of finding these same men? Like, what do you need to grow from? Um, yeah. And I just feel like, personally, dating, the internet is not it. Like, I know all the social media apps are like social media / dating apps because you shoot your shot and you shoot in people's DMs. But at the same time, I don't feel like finding someone on social media is the way to go, because one, we all have our facades, and we also show what we want on social media. So it's sort of kind of like a disservice to try and meet your significant other on social media, unless it's like match.com, because I know a lot of people that have went on match.com that are still married to this day. that are having really good relationships. So that's just that on that. I hope you guys enjoyed the social media segment. What I need y'all to do is go over to Blunt Talk Podcast _Blunt Talk Podcast on Instagram. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about the co-parenting situation. If you think what he said was hostile, if I'm bugging, let me know how you feel about Jada Wada and Des Dior's comments on the $1 million worth of game. Also, if you did watch the full episode, let me know if I was bugging or if I took it out of context or what have you. Also, how do you feel about the lady saying that she's literally tired of dating black men because they're so emotionally draining? Don't forget to comment below, subscribe as well, like the video. But yeah, let me know how you feel. So please hold. You already see what I got going on. Sorry about that. I just had to get a little boom, boom. Okay. So we're gonna jump into the next topic. It's been a while since I had like a episode topic. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's been a while since I wanted to talk to you about something. So on this episode topic, I want to talk about like basically our childhood, but the discipline, like how we were disciplined and how it like translated over to adulthood, right? So I was thinking this week, I'm gonna let you know how I even got there. I was thinking this week and I was thinking about how I was on punishment. Well, I wasn't on punishment a lot, but I had my fair share of punishments when I was growing up. And I was like, it was sort of kind of weird, but like now that I'm an adult, I was like actually very happy that I was on those punishments because it instilled a different type of discipline for me. What I mean by that is so I am how I operate now is I cannot do something that I enjoy like a reward until I have completed the task that needs to get done. So what I mean by that is for example, on Saturdays, I deep clean my bathroom, my room, my kitchen, I deep clean my house, right? And depending on what time that is, whether that's 6 in the morning, whether that's 7 at night, I make it so like I really genuinely can't smoke a blunt until that is done, right? So let's say it's Saturday and I had that left over. I have this left over, right? What I'll do is I'll see it. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll just smoke that or whatever. And then I'll get up and start my day. But I won't sit down and really enjoy like a fresh blunt until everything I have to do is done, where I could literally feel like, all right, I could really enjoy this because I worked hard to obtain it. Right. So I use like things that I like as a reward system. And I was thinking about like when I was growing up, obviously as a kid, when you don't do something that you want, that your parents want you to do, then you get your games taken away, you get whatever that you like taken away. And I was thinking like, damn, when I was a kid, I fucking hated that shit. Like I literally hated that shit. Like I didn't understand what a punishment was doing for me at that time. And so I was sort of kind of like, fuck you, mom. I hate my mom. I hate my dad. I was real emo, right? And so now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, like that actually worked because case in point, as y'all know, and if you don't know, shout out to my new listeners, my new subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate you. I like to play The Sims. So typically, if during the week I haven't edited, I haven't did my post, I'm basically not caught up on the work, I'm not gonna play. And so I use that as like an incentive, like, all right, cool, bet you could play The Sims, but you can only play The Sims once you're done recording your podcast and you edit it, or at least you edit half of it, or at least you made some segue in where by the due date it will still be completed. Now, I was thinking, like, there's literally adults out here who never got disciplined, never, you know what I'm saying? Like, to the extent of I feel like how I've got it, but this is how it structured me as an adult because I'm running into people that are just not as disciplined as I feel like they should be. And it's sort of kind of like a bitch, how you finna tell me how I should be? But it's sort of kind of like as an adult, it's either you have it or you don't. Like that whole procrastination bullshit. I have never really understood procrastination. Like, do I procrastinate? Yes, because I realize that I tend to work harder under pressure or better under pressure. Like, I don't know. So sometimes I do procrastinate, but like procrastinating to the point where like it's like weeks outside the due date and you're it never gave that. So that discipline has transitioned and really helped me, especially me being a creative. I don't think people who are not creatives understand how much discipline is needed to be a creative. Okay. So the average person is just like, fuck it, post the video. It's nothing to it. Just post it. But the hard work behind the video is the dedication and discipline that's needed to create said content that you want to see, right? So, what I mean by that is there's 1,000 people, or there's people out there, and there's people that I know, no shade, no tea, but this is just me really observing. There's people that I know that say that they want something and is like literally like, no, like I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it like this, I'm gonna make it like this, but don't have the discipline to get there. Example, it is very hard coming here every day, releasing a video. I know nobody asked me to. I know nobody is forcing me to. I know that this is willed. But the fact of the matter is that I love podcasting. I see that this is going to potentially in the future bring me revenue. And so I need to work hard at it. We can always manifest something. We can say that we want something, but if we don't put the work behind it, do we actually want it? So, case in point, all year I've been asking, do you really want it? Because when you say you really want something, you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. So don't tell me that you want to be a certain person or a certain thing or to do something very specific in your life and then you not do no work, and then every time it's talked about, it's sort of kind of like a, yeah, I get around to it. As a creative, it don't work like that because the, yeah, I get around to it turns into months and months and months of just procrastination or losing the simple routine or losing the traction that you might have gotten and things of that nature. Like, so I'm happy, like me sitting back and just thinking about my life. I'm like, damn, like I'm happy. Like during the moment, I was pissed and I wanted to run away, that I was always on punishment and that I was just, I don't know. But I'm happy now because it put me in such a different place where I can work from home. Like I may make jokes about me putting people on hold to go get snacks and tea and stuff like that, but I'll do that. But some people will put people on hold and go drive somewhere, or people will fake having connection issues, or people will have troubleshooting issues, but go in a car and go like, no, like me working from home, like don't get it twisted. I'm home, I'm working in my pajamas, but I'm very much so still present and doing my job as if I was at an office and my boss was breathing down my neck. That's the type of discipline. Being able to be at school and do online classes versus being inside the classroom classes. It's just like certain things prepare you for certain paces. And so it's just funny, like me thinking and reminiscing about my childhood. It's crazy how now that to, that I'm turning older, it's not necessarily on negatives. Like before when I was younger, it was negative, but now it's positive because it shaped me to be the person that I am today. And I'm just very grateful. I always say to myself secretly how I be watching y'all hoes act on social media. I'd be like, damn, my parents did a good job because how these bitches be acting, y'all hoes be going out sad on that social media. Bitches will go outside on that social media for a couple likes and a couple shares and to say her favorite artist reposted her. Like it's getting kind of scary out here. But that discipline and how my parents raised me, it don't have me going outside. And that's on period. And if you feel offended by what I said, do something about it because I surely bet you can't beat my motherfucking ass. Period. Okay. So that's what I wanted to talk about for that. That was a very cute topic. You let me know something from your childhood that you have thought about that was negative back then that is now positive. Comment down below, or if you feel more comfortable and want it to be more personal and have a conversation, go right on ahead and follow me on Instagram at Blunt Talk Podcast. That's BluntTalkPodcast. All right, y'all. So, once we hit around this mark is getting towards the end of the episode, which is so sad because I love chop it up. I love chopping it up with y'all and just talking with y'all and just vibing with y'all and, enjoying my mommy time with y'all. I really do love y'all for real. Before I even get into the last segment, which is my favorite segment, which I think y'all know what I'm going to say, but if not, I'm going to say it anyway. We're about to get into our Bluntly Bite. But before I get into that, I do want to say thank you to my audio listeners. Thank you to my um, YouTube family for tuning in and checking me out on another episode. I really do appreciate y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode so far. We're not done yet. I just want to, shout y'all out real quick because there would be no me without y'all. All right, without further ado, let's get into this Bluntly Bite segment. This is a juicy one. This is a long one. From my husband, 27 male, and I, 24 female, have been together for about 5 years, married one. We have a 4-year-old boy as well. For the past 5 years, we have had our ups and downs, but I think I'm just tired of his behavior. My birthday weekend, he had gotten super drunk and called me a slut in front of my friends, which is not how he normally acts. They, of course, told me this, and I broke down because I do everything. I work, I do all of the child rearing, cleaning, cooking, etc. He doesn't help until I throw a fit about things not being done, and then he'll help out for about a week, maybe 2. Then it goes back to how it was. But what really gets me is his lack of quality time with our son. His spending time with our son is putting him on the game so my husband can play his game for hours. He doesn't take him outside, to the park, or anything that our son likes except for every once in a while, and it just breaks my heart for our son. Then my husband turns it around, stating our son doesn't like him and that he loves me more than him. But I literally do everything with our son. He doesn't like me hanging out with my friends. I apparently work out for too long or for too many days in a row, but that's my only escape to feel like myself and not just a mom. I try to initiate intimacy that does not involve anything sexual, but if he's not getting head, he doesn't want it. Example, I asked him if he wanted to join me in the shower, but he told me no. Quick side note. We just moved back from out of state and is living with his mom until we can get back on our feet. So we don't have a ton of we don't have a ton of options for intimacy. All he does is play his game and work. We tried one therapy session, but when I brought up another one, he said, I thought that was a one-time thing. I've honestly had just gotten to the point where I don't even find him attractive anymore. I'm terrified to leave because I do love him, but I'm not sure if that love is even romantic anymore when we feel more like roommates. And even if I wanted to leave, I have no money as for our finances are together and we are in a tremendous amount of debt from him trying to live above our means. I just don't know what to do. Okay, y'all. So this one was kind of sticky. Thank you for allowing me to share. I just want to let you know that sometimes us women have a tendency to want to settle because we're used to a certain thing, as well as having hope that that person can change once the situation gets better. I also do notice that us women have a tendency, um, again, to basically settle because of that love that we feel for that person. But deep down inside, we typically know what to do. So, as a mom, I can relate to some things that you said. And that does play a big factor. I'm just going to be real candid. When in regards to you talking about you doing everything for the children, spending more time with them and doing things of that nature, can definitely relate. And so I would just simply have a conversation and be like, yeah, although you may want to do these things, like you might have to get a schedule where if you want to play your game, but the baby's awake and you know he's going to want to spend time with you, why don't you take him outside for an hour before just playing your game? And then when you want to play your game, then you'll be able to do that because you already did something with the kid. I don't think men understand how to really compromise. And that's where a lot of times us as mothers get torn down because it's like, well, you didn't think that I wanted to just sit down after work and not do anything, but no, I had to get out of work and take care of 2 kids and put them to bed and then come downstairs and clean and do all this and this and this and this while you just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. You don't think when you want to be playing video games and just relaxing, you don't think I want to relax too? Because as a mom, I got to do this, 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 this. It's never just me getting dressed. I got to get dressed for 2. I got to eat. I got to feed for 2. I got to do like everything is +2 for us. Um, so I guess my question is, have you guys even talked about it? Like talked about things that could have helped or things that can help? Like what is the communication looking like? Because from here, I'm trying to skim. I don't think I've heard anything about communication. I feel like the first thing is to really talk because again, once you cross that threshold of being boyfriend and girlfriend to being married, it takes a little bit. You just can't skip the beat and jump and leave that person. Like you're dead ass married. Like you chose to be someone's wife for better or for worse till death do y'all part. And also, I'm thinking about the ages 27, 24. You're already mature, more mature than him at 24 than he is at 27. And so, certain things that women just grasp, men don't just grasp, and they do unfortunately have to be explained. No one ever wants to talk about how important the actual role is of the wife. Like, I am a full-fledged believer. Like, I'm not saying men are stupid, but I guarantee you, if there wasn't a strong woman behind that man's head would be lost. Like, their head would be found in other pussy, but their head would be lost. Okay? It's like we keep them grounded. So, I'm just a very outspoken person. So, I would say definitely communicate and say how you feel. Definitely be like, hey, I understand you like head, but I like head too. So if that's what you want to do, let's put our heads together and let's do it together. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just not always about you. And that's also what it is. Like, look at the age. At that age, what I'm saying, I think I met like one pleaser in my life. Yes, I met one pleaser in my life. And at that time where I was messing with that pleaser, he was definitely older than me. And I wasn't understanding it, but it was a very amazing situation where it was like he literally catered to me. I'm realizing now that the men our age, sis, they're not really like that. They're not really like that. They want to please. They want to get pleased, okay? And that's basically what it sounded like to me. So I definitely feel like a conversation is needed. What are your guys' thoughts? What would you tell her for the bluntly bikes? Like, how do y'all feel about that? So I know I only wrote this 5 days ago, but I decided that I'm going to leave my husband. I'm not sure if I just reached my breaking point over the weekend or what happened, but he was being an ass to me because I didn't feel good and asked him to care for our child. And that was a huge problem. It was like something just clicked in my brain and I decided I didn't want to deal with this behavior anymore. Now I can't leave right away. I have to get some debts taken care of to be able to afford to live somewhere else, but my friends are helping me come up with a plan. I also don't want anything to interfere with our son's birthday coming up in a few months, but my exit plan is going to take place at the end of November, beginning of December. I do appreciate everyone that commented on my post. I will update again once I leave him. One thing I'm gonna tell you here at Blunt Talk Podcast on these Bluntly Bites, these people ain't standing for nothing. They standing on business. This is the second Bluntly Bite that we had that is standing on business. And I love that for us because sometimes we have a tendency to overlook how we really feel. And like I said, right before I read the update, I said, we know what we should want to do as women. Sometimes we settle, but deep down we know what we should want to do. And I feel like she wrote that. And once she got that out and then she sat back and she observed again, she was like, man, this stinks. He sucks. So that was the update. No more surprises, y'all. We're all done. The Bluntly Bite segment was another juicy one. Thank you for letting me share. I really hope you appreciate what I said. If you want to talk one-on-one, just hit me up. You already know where to find me. And yeah. So before we go, I just want to say thank you everyone for coming through and stopping by and chilling and vibing and smoking and drinking and catching up with me on episode 15. I hope you guys enjoyed the social media segment. I hope you guys love to talk about our childhood and just, things that used to be negative to us when we were younger that are now positives that helped us in a great way. Please don't forget to drop your experiences below. I would love to hear them to see if maybe we are similar. Um, don't forget to follow me at _Blunt Talk Podcast. If you would like to share anything with me and be featured for our Bluntly Bite segment, you already know where to find me. That is _Blunt Talk Podcast on Instagram. Before I go, I want to let you know, maybe y'all can listen to it too. For all my R&B lovers, if you're looking for a cool vibe. Now, I'm not in my sad girl era, but I definitely do appreciate R&B music. So the album that has had me in a chokehold for the last 2 weeks, I don't know when it came out. It came out sometime this year, but it's Sydney Renee. Why Do You Hate Me? Go on ahead and check out my homegirl, Sydney Renee. Again, the album is called Why Do You Hate Me? The songs that I have literally been listening to, like, I guarantee you, as I edit this video, this will be playing in the background and I'll be singing. One song for sure that has me in a chokehold is Language. And then let me see, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Ooh. Okay. So the whole album is fire. I'm not gonna hold you from 1 to 7. It's a cute little album, no skips. But the songs that literally I play over and over and over again is literally 2 through 5. Like, I've listened to the whole album in the rotation over and over again, but 2 through 5 will get played back to back nonstop. So go ahead and check on that album and let me know what you think and let me know what you feel. And if you want some more recommendations, I can definitely get that going. Maybe we can even get a Blunt Talk podcast playlist going. Let me know how you like that, how y'all feel about that. Comment down below and follow me on Instagram. I'm out of here, y'all. I loved y'all. I missed y'all. I'm happy I chopped it up with y'all. In the cup with my twin, we be vibing. Classic bitch, but you know I be outside. I be outside. Okay. I love that dance. All right, let me start playing with y'all. I love y'all. It was so fun. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Stay tuned for some things that we have up and coming. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you have been hearing my announcements. I'm not going to drop them right now. I think I said them throughout the little episode. If I didn't, go ahead and follow me on Instagram so you don't need to even think about or question what we have going on. Just know that we got more content coming to y'all soon. This week and on Saturday, I will completely be booked and busy. No, I'm not going to tell you what I'll be booked and busy doing, but you will be seeing it soon. And maybe I might be on another big screen. Anyways, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Randy out.